and welcome to the Toon Goons, a podcast in which we take an adult and critical perspective into the world of cartoons and animation, and analyze how they affect the pop cultural landscape at large. I'm one of your hosts, Nikki.
I'm Nina.
And I am Experiment 626. I'm programmed to cause chaos and mass destruction, but I will not steal your left shoe. I don't want to touch your feet.
And this week, in celebration of June 26th, 626 if you live in a country that didn't just ruin its economy. Sorry, guys.
Sick burn against all those people, though.
Real.
Whose fault it
real fresh.
Isn't it?
Real fresh. Yeah, there's no overlap between people who are responsible, people who listen to us, because they're too racist. But 626, so we're doing Lilo and Stitch, the original movie, and not any of the later stuff, because we didn't watch it, and also it's probably not as good, whereas the movie's really good.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. Alright. This is a favorite movie. What is this, like, I've cited this as my favorite Disney movie for a while. It's something I maybe need to reassess, which is not to say that I like it less. I haven't thought about it in a bit. And I know it's also a favorite of yours, Nina.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I wouldn't know what to stack it up against, to be perfectly honest.
I would say it's definitely my favorite. It's definitely my favorite of 2000s Disney, where they were in that hole for a bit.
I like it a lot better than most of the Renaissance movies myself. Heyo.
Hell yeah.
I think the Disney Renaissance is way overrated.
To get into that briefly, I think that people just call a Renaissance anytime there's pretty good movies to come after pretty mediocre movies.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's what the new things are Renaissance, and it's like, yeah, they're good movies. I don't know if they're reinventing anything, but it's just that they're good and the ones before it weren't so good. Mm-hmm. That's the same thing that happened with Little Mermaid and all the crap before it. It wasn't especially good, except for some of the stuff that was. There we go. Like, sometimes the dark ages have good stuff. I think Treasure Planet was a mostly good movie.
Yeah, man. Treasure Planet? Fuck yeah.
And if you don't like The Fox and the Hound, you're a monster.
Yeah.
Objectively.
Anyway, we got some news.
We got some cool news. And I didn't hear any of this shit beforehand.
Okay, first up.
We're starting.
Studio Trigger's Little Witch Academia, which is a series a lot of you guys have wanted us to cover, that we haven't gotten around to yet, but I have seen it, and it's great. They have announced that they will be doing a television anime series of it.
Woo!
Yay!
Alright.
That's pretty dope.
How was it distributed originally? Is it just Cruncho?
It was shorts.
It was shorts?
There was 2 shorts.
Yeah.
It was short films.
Yeah, there's short films.
Yeah, there were 2 short films, like what would be like 1 episode or TV or something, but like as a standalone thing. So this is gonna be, the standard 30-minute TV show.
This is because Little Witch Academia was like the first thing that like Trigger like made when those guys, because they left Gainax and needed to like flex. Mm-hmm. And so there's Little Witch
made something
Academia.
short.
Yeah, short.
Was it crowdfunded or did I imagine that?
I don't think so.
I think the first one was, yes.
Oh, I don't know.
Fans supported the second short via Kickstarter crowdfunding campaign that raised $150,000 in 6 hours, and then eventually $625,000, which is I mean, if you look at the line graph, that's some heavy drop off, but they made it.
Yeah, and it was great. And they're delightful. So
and it had a premiere at Anime Expo when we were there, and we didn't watch it because we were busy.
We were busy dying.
We were probably busy drinking. We were either busy being miserable or busy drinking Dos Equis.
It's the same director returning. It's the staff that's recently finished Space Patrol. Luluco is going to be working on it. If you don't know,
I love Luluco.
I know. Like, if you don't know anything about Little Witch Academia, here's the synopsis given to us. Ako Kagaris, an ordinary girl who joins the renowned witch academy for witch girls, Luna Nova Academy. When she was younger, she went to Magical Festa, a magic show hosted by a witch named Shiny Chariot. Ako was so mesmerized and inspired by Shiny Chariot's performance that she dreamed to someday be a cool witch like her. This young and impressionable Ako takes Shiny Chariot's words as her own motto. Never forget, a believing heart is your magic. As part of a class, Ako and her classmates go into a labyrinth under the Tower of Luna Nova. There's an ancient secret, there's a dragon. That all happened in the original short.
Wow.
Yeah, it was rad.
I don't know if I'm tired or that my glasses are dirty, but I first read Shiny Chariot as Skinny Carrot, which is like, that's not a good witch name.
And the great thing about Little Witch Academia is Studio Trigger has amazing animation quality, but sometimes the content of their series don't always go down so great.
Yeah.
But this one is completely adorable and sweet, and there's nothing gross about it at all.
Isn't that also Luluco?
Yeah.
Luluco?
I would say so, too.
Oh, yeah, no, Luluco's pretty good. I mean, I'm not caught up to speed. So far, there's, like, one character who's, like, this... She's like a villain, and she's, like, super busty. But it's, like, it's still in that really cartoony style, so it's, like, I don't know.
Sailor Moon did that, didn't they?
Huh?
Yeah.
Didn't Sailor Moon have, like, the only ones with
Busty
tits were the villains?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also not sure Shiny Chariot is a good witch name either, but what it is a good name for is an F-Zero machine.
Or a JoJo stand. But then it would have to also be a music reference. Shiny Chariot!
I mean, the animation on these are always, like, so phenomenal. Like, like, nothing ever stops moving, and it's beautiful and great, and I'm very happy to get more of it. And a happy witchy world. It's essentially like Harry Potter, only no dudes.
Fuck that noise.
Okay. So next is a short one, and that's just to announce that Cartoon Network has greenlit a 6th season of Gumball.
Awesome.
Those Gumball fans, to make sure that you still got more stuff coming.
Which we are, but I've never watched the whole thing. I haven't watched enough to feel like I can talk about it. Like,
yeah.
And the longer we wait, the harder it's going to be. I really do want to sit down and watch all of Gumball, because all of it that I've seen, I really like.
Yeah, and also it seems like one of those very consumable shows. Like it's gonna it seems like a good time to marathon.
It's super episodic.
Drain.
Yeah, and it's truly episodic, not in the way that like regular show is episodic, where regular show has continuity despite the fact that nobody asking for it. And the show's like, what, you didn't know?
Yeah.
Pay attention.
Yeah, when I realized the show had continuity, I was like, oh man, this is something else. This is gonna get weird.
Regular show very much is something else. And it's something else that I also think we should talk about, because there is something remarkable about it, despite the fact that my first impression was bad. I'm like, why is the palette washed out?
Yeah.
Why did somebody leave the show out in the sun all day? But no, it's good.
So next up is we have Sony Pictures Animation slate up until 2018. So within a reasonable future, nothing like 2020 shit.
It's a roller coaster of a list.
Yeah. The first two here are films we've already heard of, or at least assumed. One is another Smurfs film. This time it's going to be a fully animated Smurfs film as opposed to a animation live action hybrid thing. There is a Emoji Movie,
which we yelled about a lot, which I figured would have been dead by now.
Yeah, I think it's actually happening. In
Next
a world
year.
where Angry Birds can happen.
Angry Birds makes infinitely more sense than this, because Angry Birds has a premise.
That's true.
and then the next feature is a little interesting. It seems to be an original feature. It's called The Star. It's the current working title, due out in December of 2017, which slates them as having 3 films coming out in 2017.
Yeah, spring, a summer, and a winter.
And the film is directed by Oscar nominee Timothy Reichardt, who did Head Over Heels. And it has a lot of the Hensons, Lisa Henson, Brian Henson, and the official support of the Jim Henson Company.
Oh, wow.
And The Star is about a small but brave donkey and his animal friends becoming the unsung heroes of the greatest story ever told, The First Christmas. So that's probably going to get a lot of money.
Sounds neat.
Yeah, I mean,
I've always liked The Christmas Story. Like, I don't think there's nothing really problematic about The Christmas Story. It's very sweet and nice.
The birth is nice.
Yeah.
Like, Inception is not.
Yeah. And
but I don't want to talk about that.
I like the idea of a donkey puppet man.
Yeah, look, I mean, Prince of Egypt. You can tell I'm a real dumb shit nerd. Prince of Egypt was a great movie, and I don't see why a movie about a religious topic can't be good without being preachy.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely possible. I don't know if they will.
This donkey's gonna save a baby.
Yay.
We'll see.
Next up, we got Hotel Transylvania 3. It is happening. Of course it is, and Tartakovsky is going to be returning as the director. Even though previously he said he thought he was done, we discussed this when we talked about Hotel Transylvania, but after finishing his work on the upcoming Samurai Jack show, getting that out of his system, he's like, no, I mean, I can do it. Like, I have an idea. He got to do something a little bit more mature, a little bit more his style, and then he's like, no, I can go back to having wacky fun time. So he's going to.
He probably just came up with a really good Buscemi bit. He's like, I gotta justify an entire Hollywood production because I gotta get the Bush on this. Love that Wolfman!
And it's obviously probably going to continue the story, have the same characters, Sandler, whatever. So that's happening.
David Spade's just like on Twitter like, oh man, nice, I get to eat!
And the last feature film that we see planned here is a Spider-Man film. It doesn't have a title yet. Due out December 21st, 2018. From our favoritist friends, Phil Lord and Christopher Miller.
I'm immeasurably curious.
I am too. I didn't think I was going to be curious about another Spider-Man anything ever again in my life. But I love
Lord
these
and
two.
Miller.
Yeah. Lord is writing it, and then Lord and Miller are producing. Yeah. It's directed by a man named Bob Persichetti, who is head of story on Puss in Boots and the Little Prince.
Don't you fuck this up, Percy.
He's directing, so I don't think they've got their fingers in the pie as directly as they did in, say, Lego Movie or the first Meatballs, where they wrote and directed it. But, they have...
Well, the Little Prince looks great.
Yeah, that's the Little Prince looks great. Apparently Puss in Boots...
with the direction of Puss in Boots.
No. I mean, he was head of story. But also it was the best, I understand it's the best Shrek thing since Shrek 2. It was definitely way better than the other ones. But, I'm very interested because, I trust these guys. I've liked everything they've done except for Last Man on Earth. And, I feel like if anybody could make Spider-Man interesting to me again, they could. And also it'll be completely animated, which will be cool.
Will be rad.
Yeah.
So I'm very, tentatively excited about that.
I'm super excited about it. And then we have some television series. They're gonna come out with a Ghostbusters animated series, to further expand the cinematic universe that they're establishing.
There's apparently going to be a new squad of Busters.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're trying to like franchise their Buster casts. Like they're fucking like they made like the fucking Titans East or something.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be like a younger skewing project.
Yeah.
Then we have...
Here's the thing.
Luckily, Slimer's fun for all ages.
Here's the thing. Just make 2 of them dudes and 2 of them ladies.
Yeah. That seems fair.
Yeah.
Do that.
Yeah.
Just do that.
There is also going to be a Hotel Transylvania television series focusing on the teenage years of Mavis and her friends. And that's
going to be on Disney Channel.
Mm-hmm. And then a Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2D animated small screen series. Produced in partnership with DHX Media and commissioned by Teletoon in Canada. Will expand upon the adventures of the feature films and will air on Cartoon Network in the US and Turner channels across everywhere else.
That seems like it could be neat. I mostly want to see the 2D art style.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would be really cool if it was the 2D art style from like the end credits sequence.
Yeah. Oh, I need it.
And then we've also got a direct-to-video sequel to Surf's Up.
This is so good. I've known about this for a while.
There's a lot happening here. I don't know if direct-to-video is still a thing. I thought it just went direct to Netflix now.
Coming soon to your grocery store.
And then a sequel to a movie that nobody remembered from...
And then in order
10
to fund
plus years.
In order to fund it, they had to cut a deal. They cut a deal with the WWE for a picture. Because the WWE's been doing that a lot. They also had, because the WWE also made a 2-movie deal with Hanna-Barbera, and they made a Scooby-Doo wrestling team-up movie and a Flintstones wrestling team-up movie. And they were both bad.
The voice cast includes WWE superstars John Cena, The Undertaker, Triple H, Diva Page, and Mr. McMahon.
They're
as
all
an infamous big wave riding crew of penguins known as the Hang Five. Oh yeah, the main guy from the first movie was named Cody Maverick.
Weird. But, like,
it sounds like a Star Ocean character.
They're all playing sea animal versions of themselves. It's just like McMahon is like an otter who looks like Vince McMahon and has big shoulders. The Undertaker is a big penguin with a coffin-shaped surfboard.
That's actually fucking fresh.
It's so dumb!
I mean, the Undertaker connection, I don't give a shit about. Here's my appreciation of wrestling. I like to see the big men hurt each other in the fake stunt show. I don't care about any of them. I just like to see the suplexes.
I like Randy Macho.
So I don't give a crap about Undertaker as a dude, but the idea of a coffin-shaped surfboard really appeals to me.
Oh boy.
So and we got a logo type for the Emoji Movie, and it's terrible.
Yep, gonna barf.
Yeah, because it's not just called Emoji Movie. It's called Emoji Movie.
One word.
All one word.
All one word. Secondary title: Express Yourself.
Get it? Hey, get it?
Okay, here's the only saving grace this movie will have is that I'm gonna have to end up seeing the trailers because of all the movies I watch, and if they could just license that NWA song, so maybe I could listen to it every time I hear the trailer. Because that one's clean. I think.
Yeah.
That one was like let's put one clean one on here and let Dre rap. Before he burns every bridge he's ever had.
Uh,
No, that song's great.
What? No. I'm trying to talk about the movie.
Oh, I was trying not to do that.
I just want to see what the poop looks like.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, the poop character.
Yeah, it's like a really popular emoji. They can't not put him in.
Yeah. Now here's something I'm not sure if I knew about, but I think is a exciting, if untimely, idea. DreamWorks is making a Captain Underpants movie.
Oh yeah. That's a book fair staple.
Yeah, it was a poster was spotted at the 2016 Licensing Expo, along with some other DreamWorks posters. But I actually have a little bit of a story for Captain Underpants, so that's why I'm talking about this one.
Rad.
It's being done by DreamWorks. It's slated for 2017. It's going to feature Kevin Hart, Thomas Middleditch as George Beard and Harold Hutchins.
The kids.
The two kids. And then Mr. Krupp, and of course, Captain Underpants is going to be played by Ed Helms. It's based on the children's book series, which I don't know how many of you guys ever read them, but it was a very silly series that was most famous for being silly and doing things that you weren't supposed to do in kids' books.
It was... those books are banned in a lot of places because they're very subversive in a very subtle way. Like, the whole book, like, is very much based around... I mean, obviously the main thing is, like, look at this silly guy, you can see his butt, a lot of stuff is gross, like, the second book was Attack of the Talking Toilets, so, like, there are all these toilets all over the place. There's the Bionic Booger Boy.
Wedgie Woman.
Yeah, it was like, it's silly stuff like this, but it oozed with a fundamental disrespect for authority.
Yeah.
Which is just like the Captain Underpants is their principal. They snap their fingers or something, and he turns into this crazy underpants man who can't do anything. He thinks he's a superhero, but he's just a mostly naked man. And then the kids have to, like, It's very Baby's Day Out.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Yeah, and there's this very gentle subversiveness to it that like kids read it and they don't think like, oh, this is some edgy stuff. Like this is the kind of like dumb jokes we tell at the cafeteria table when we're trying to make each other barf, and it's funny. And there's this interactive element where it's called Flip-O-Matic, where it's the 2-page flip book of just like it's 2 frames of Captain Underpants punching the guy.
Yeah.
And you do it for as long as you want before you go.
Actually, the series got some kind of controversial attention for another reason in their most recent book, Captain Underpants and the Sensational Saga of Sir Stinks-A-Lot, when George and Harold traveled to the future to reveal that Harold was married to another man with children.
Gasp.
Making it the first big-name children's book series to openly portray LGBT main characters and families.
I had not
Fucking
heard
do
of
it.
that.
So,
And that's fucking dope. And that's very much in the spirit of...
Captain Underpants.
Yeah, Captain Underpants and the author Dave, I think it's Pickley.
Yeah, I think it is Pickley.
Yeah. There's nothing about, like, the tone of the book that's in any way, like, actively antagonistic.
No, it's like
it's very
friendly.
good-natured.
Yeah, it's like, we're just gonna have a fun time and
Running around in our underwear and making just the most harmless poop jokes.
make poop and booger jokes.
Yeah.
And the illustrations were pretty unique, too, and like
There's a fun art style.
ridiculous titles and just stuff happening all the time, like...
And then I made the mistake of walking past them and getting like a fucking Garfield book. Or
Pilkey.
the Guinness Book of World Records for that year.
Yeah.
Yeah, his name is Dave Pilkey.
Dave Pilkey.
But it's Dave with no E, which, that's fine. If you are at a Scholastic book fair for whatever reason, just buy them all. They're really, really good. They really transcend what they look like in a very subtle way.
There was one set up. There was a Scholastic book fair set up in my college randomly one day. I just walked into one of the buildings and it was there, and I was just like, "Oh, I have to go over to there and look at all the books."
Well, anyway, hopefully the film captures the heart of Captain Underpants. Not sure if Dave is... I don't see any information that he is involved in the project, but I can't imagine he isn't a little bit. We'll let you know once more information comes out. But I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
And that's what I got for today.
Yep. Oh, there was one super dumb thing I saw. We're going to talk about this very briefly. I saw this on the sidebar of one of the articles Neil linked. Nut Job director Peter Leponiotis signs on for 3 QU's No Malone. And I skimmed through this article, and No Malone is in no way related to Romeo and Juliet. So there's a different shit gnome franchise made by a crap hack.
I can't wait for them to cross over.
Is it about them their house being invaded and them setting up gnome
like-
traps?
Like what?
No Malone is an energetic action comedy for kids in the tradition of films like Monster Squad, Gremlins, and Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters is not a kids movie, with chills and fun scares and plenty of hilarious characters that'll thrill the child in all of us.
But all the Generation Xers watched it as kids anyway.
Yeah, they watch it as kids, but it's not a kids movie.
No.
They watch it as kids, and then like the blowjob scene just kind of confuses them. But the song is cool, so they move on.
Yeah, the song is cool, and then they realize later it's like, oh, yeah, I really like Sigourney Weaver. Like, did you see Cabin in the Woods, Tooch?
No.
She's an older woman now when she was in that movie. She still looked fucking great.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
She has aged extremely well. She's great. She's the actor, out of all the great actors that never got Oscars, she's the one I'm most upset never got an Oscar. It's like when everybody's like bitching about Leo DiCaprio, and it's like, what is this? When is he going to scream and cry loud enough to get an Oscar? And like, when is Sigourney Weaver getting an Oscar? Josh Peck is going to be in this crap. Anyway.